What up? It's your boy Wall Street, and I'm back today talking about an NBA draft prospect for the 2025 NBA draft, Mr. Jeremiah Fears, which is just a sick name, by the way. Like, that's crazy to have your last name be Fears. Like, you got to be doing some, real, just like high level type to garner a name like that. So I can just imagine the NBA nicknames are going to be out this world, bro. So I'm super excited for this dude to enter the league. I think he's one of the most exciting players in the draft. I made a video about him previously, but today I wanted to talk about his NBA comp because you guys know I'm a big Washington Wizards fan, and I'm hearing a lot of people say that he reminds them of John Wall. And I kind of see it. Right? And like, there's a lot of similarities there. He's more of a driver, get to the rim. The body type's the same. He's 6'4", 182. Coming into the league, John Wall was roughly the same, like 6'4". I think he was like 180, 190 maybe. And I just think, like, obviously, I think a lot of people didn't understand this about John Wall. But John Wall could have scored 30 points a night if he wanted to, right? And I think Jeremiah Fears is more of a scorer than a passer, whereas I think John Wall was a little bit more leaning towards being a little bit too passive at times. But I think a lot of that was because of his lack of confidence in being able to shoot deep range shots, right? Like his second year in the league, I think he shot like 7% from three. Like, just was not a good shooter, right? And he got better over the course of his career, but he was never a guy that you looked at and was like, oh yeah, hit him for three in the corner. Like, he'd make that no problem. Like, that is not John Wall's game, and that does not seem like Jeremiah Fears' game either. He only shot 28% from three-point range in 34 games in his only college season at Oklahoma. So I do see this guy being a guy that gets to the rim, though, and can get like 10 free throws a night, right? Like, he gets to the rim very easily, right? And he plays at his pace. He controls the pace of the game. But I could see you could probably put this guy in at the 1 or the 2. I think he's probably going to be better suited at the 1 spot, just being able to handle the ball, from the start of the possession and kind of figure out what's going to work, what's not going to work. So I like the John Wall comparison a lot. Another comparison I've heard is Jalen Suggs. I think, though, like, their athleticism is very similar and their body type is similar. But I think Jalen Suggs, in the NBA at least, is way more known for his defense. I think Jeremiah Fears is going to continue to be known, by his offensive game coming into the league, right? And Jalen Suggs had a big jump up this year, right, in terms of production, averaged like 16 points a game. But I think Jeremiah Fears is a guy who can average 20, 25 maybe at his peak a night. So I think the big thing for him is he's got to just be a better shooter. He's got to get reps up, after he gets drafted, before he gets drafted. The whole summer, he's got to be getting reps up, shooting the three ball from NBA range because a lot of guys come in the league and they don't have a jumper, right? But as long as he's working at it and he's getting better at it, I think that's a weapon that he's going to need in his arsenal, to have a really successful NBA career and really live up to his potential. But I think the defense is good. 1.6 steals per game in his season at Oklahoma. I think he's got a lot of the tools. He's also, I think the thing that everyone needs to understand is he's going to be one of the youngest draftees. He's not even going to be 19 by the time the draft comes around. So to be picking an 18-year-old, right, with right now they haven't projected going 7 to the Pelicans. Picking a dude like that in the top 10 is really important for your team, right? Because you have a guy that's that young coming in the league. He's probably going to be a guy that you're looking to have made significant progress and be one of the leaders of your team by the time he's 21 or 22 years old. So can he do that? I think so, but it's going to depend on what situation he goes to. My thing, though, is if this dude really is the next John Wall, right? They're saying that those are the comparisons I'm hearing. I've definitely heard John Wall more than anybody else. Jalen Suggs I've heard a few times. Another one I think on like NBA Draft Net was like Doc Rivers. I mean, I just don't think it's really comparable because like Doc Rivers played in a totally different time. And being a point guard in Doc Rivers' time was a lot different than being a point guard in 2025. That's just, so I don't think it's really translatable. I think the John Wall comp is very, very good. It's just, it can be a lofty comp if Jeremiah Fears does not perform to expectations, right? And I think the expectations for him are come in, average like 12 points a night at least, shoot above 40% from the field, shoot above like 27, 28% from three, right? Just don't do worse than what you were doing at Oklahoma, right? If he can come in and translate exactly what he was doing at Oklahoma to the NBA, he was averaging 17 a night at Oklahoma. If he can come in and average 12, 13, 14 points per game in his rookie season, I think that's a win, right? Because I think there's going to be a lot more growth on top of that. I think his rookie season is going to be kind of like a baseline. He's only going to go up from there. That's just me personally, though. I have a lot of faith in Jeremiah Fears. After watching his highlight tape and all this stuff, like he just seems like he knows what he's doing. He plays with a lot of composure. Seems like a guy that would help any team that he gets drafted to. But like I said, they have him projected going number 7 to the Pelicans. I think the Wizards should take him at number 6. I really do think that, right? It's kind of between him and Trey Johnson. Trey Johnson might go to the Jazz at 5. If Trey Johnson goes to the Jazz at 5, I think you have to take Jeremiah Fears with number 6, right? Like, right now they have us picking Kneppel at number 6. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Like, I think Jeremiah Fears is going to have a better NBA career than Kneppel. I just think there's so much more potential. And there's a big possibility that it's not the case. Kneppel just turns out to be a very solid, very good NBA player. And Jeremiah Fears doesn't live up to the potential. That's also a possibility. But from what I've seen, the athleticism, just the relentlessness to get to the rim, the finishing ability, just there's too much there with Jeremiah Fears to not pick him if he's on the board at number 6. I think this is a dude that has risen up the boards phenomenally over the past couple of months. I think taking him at number 6 would be a solid move for the Wizards. So if he really is the next John Wall, man, bring him to DC and let's see what he's about. So that's all I got, guys. Let me know who you think Jeremiah Fears' NBA comp is in the comments down below. Love to get your thoughts. And let's have a discussion. Feel me? But that's all I got, guys. I'm going to check you later. Stay up, stay blessed, stay humble, stay safe, handle business, stand on business. Peace out.